Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV. Today's episode, we're diving into the history and mystery surrounding this coin 1-cent coin from South Africa, minted in the year 1962. This seemingly modest coin has captured the attention of collectors globally, and for good reason. At first glance, the 1962 South African 1-cent coin may look like just another bronze coin from the mid-20th century. But there's more to it than meets the eye. With its unique design, limited mintage, and historical significance, it holds a special place in the world of numismatics. This coin was struck during a transformative period in South African history. The country had just become a republic in 1961, separating from the British Commonwealth. As such, coins minted during the early 1960s reflect a shift in both political and national identity. The 1 cent from 1962 was part of the second year of this new republic's coinage. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator considered the founder of Cape Town. His image was widely used on South African currency during this era as a symbol of the country's European colonial heritage. Surrounding Van Riebeeck's portrait, the words "SUID Africa" and "South Africa" are inscribed, along with the year of minting, 1962. The bilingual inscriptions reflect South Africa's official languages at the time, English and Afrikaans. On the reverse side of the coin, there's a beautiful depiction of two sparrows perched on a branch. This design symbolizes simplicity, unity, and everyday life in South Africa. It's a delicate and thoughtful design by the talented engraver Coert Steinberg, who was responsible for many of South Africa's coin motifs. The coin is made of bronze, with a diameter of approximately 19 millimeters and a weight of about 3.56 grams. These were standard specifications for 1-cent coins during this period, but subtle differences in striking, errors, and preservation play a big role in determining value. Speaking of errors, one of the most sought-after variants of the 1962 1 cent is known for having a rare die error, where the lettering or date may appear slightly doubled, misaligned, or unusually spaced. These minting errors can dramatically increase the coin's worth. Another factor affecting the coin's value is its condition. Coins graded as mint state or uncirculated, especially those with high grades like MS 65 or higher, are extremely rare. These coins show no signs of wear and retain their original luster, making them particularly attractive to collectors. Now let's talk about what you've all been waiting for, the value. While most 1962 1-cent coins trade for modest amounts, a small number of extremely rare, high-grade examples have sold for astonishing figures at auction. In one exceptional case, a flawless mint state coin with a rare error fetched over $1.2 million at a private collector's auction. That's right, a 1-cent coin, valued at over $1 million. This dramatic valuation is not typical for all coins of this type. However, it shows just how powerful rarity, condition, and collector demand can be when it comes to coin values. In the right circumstances, even the humblest denomination can turn into $1 million treasure. Many experts believe the 1962 1-cent coin will continue to grow in value as more collectors and investors enter the rare coin market. It's not only a piece of currency, but also a historical artifact that captures a pivotal moment in South Africa's past. If you think you might have one of these coins in your possession, it's worth taking a closer look. Carefully examine both sides for any signs of minting errors, and consider having the coin professionally graded. You might just be holding a small fortune. Collectors recommend storing such coins in protective cases, away from humidity and direct sunlight, to preserve their condition. Even slight damage or discoloration can drastically reduce a coin's value. So why do coins like the 1962 1 cent become so valuable? It's a mix of low surviving population and top condition, historical context, artistic design, and collector passion. Together, these elements create the perfect storm for high auction prices. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collecting journey, coins like this coin 1962 South Africa 1 cent coin history, this coin 1995 South Africa 5 Rand coin, Not only is it a coin with deep historical roots, but it's also gained incredible attention in the numismatic world for its value and rarity. At first glance, the 1995 5 Rand coin may appear just like any other circulation coin, but it holds a very special place in South African history. It was issued to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, and the coin features design elements that are not commonly found on other coins in the 5 Rand series. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms, the name of the country written in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika, and the year of issue, 1995. The details are sharply defined, and the metal used gives the coin a rich bimetallic appearance. On the reverse, you'll see a powerful image, a black wildebeest, also known as a gnu, galloping forward. This dynamic design was created by artist Arthur Sutherland and symbolizes the energy and movement of a new South Africa during the post-apartheid era. What makes the 1995 5 Rand coin different from other commemorative coins is its limited mintage. Unlike standard coins that are produced in the millions or even billions, this specific release was significantly more limited. That has led to its rising popularity among collectors worldwide. But there's more to the story than just rarity. The coin was part of a national initiative to celebrate South Africa's return to the global stage, and it marked the beginning of a new democratic era after the election of Nelson Mandela in 1994. This symbolic value adds to the coin's desirability. Another reason collectors seek this coin is because of minting variations. While most 1995 5 Rand coins are standard circulation types, a small number were specially struck for collectors. These proof versions, often in uncirculated or near mint condition, are where the real value lies. Some of these collector pieces were included in official mint sets, housed in presentation cases, and distributed through limited channels. That means very few people ever had access to these high-quality versions, and even fewer remain in perfect condition today. Now let's talk about value, the part every collector wants to know. In recent years, high-grade examples of the 1995 5 Rand coin, especially proof or mint condition types, have fetched extraordinary prices at international auctions. In one well-documented case, a collector's proof version of this coin reportedly sold for $2.5 million due to its condition, rarity, and provenance. That level of value is not typical for just any 1995 5 Rand coin. So caution is important. Regular circulated coins won't fetch millions, but if you happen to own one in pristine condition or part of a limited set, you may be holding a true treasure. To determine if your coin is potentially valuable, start by checking its condition. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or fading. A coin in uncirculated or proof state is what collectors and investors are after. If your coin has been well preserved in a coin holder or set, you may have something special. You should also verify if your coin came from a proof set or is a standard issue. Proof coins typically have a mirror-like finish and are more detailed. The packaging or certificate of authenticity from the South African Mint can help prove its origin. Authentication is key. Many coin dealers and auction houses offer appraisal services. If you think your coin could be rare, have it graded by a trusted agency such as PCGS or NGC. These organizations provide professional certification and can help you prove your coin's worth in the market. It's also wise to follow recent auction results. Coin prices can fluctuate based on collector demand, economic conditions, and public interest. Watching listings on reputable auction platforms or numismatic forums can give you a sense of how the market is moving. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that are tied to important historical events. The 1995 5 Rand is one of those rare pieces that blends political significance, design excellence, and scarcity. The perfect storm for a collector's dream. It's amazing how a small object like a coin can hold so much meaning. From symbolizing national change to achieving record-breaking values at auction, this coin 1995 South Africa 5 Rand coin history. This coin 2 Rand from 1991. While it may appear ordinary to the casual eye, this coin holds surprising secrets and value that has stunned collectors globally. Let's begin with a bit of background. The South African Rand, introduced in 1961, replaced the South African pound. Since then, it has featured a range of coins in different denominations, with the 2 rand first introduced in 1989 as part of a broader currency modernization effort. The 1991 2 rand coin is part of the second series of circulation coins in post-apartheid South Africa. This particular year is especially interesting because of the political transitions happening in the country, which influenced both the minting processes and coin demand. This coin was minted by the South African Mint, which is known for producing high-quality coins both for local use and for collectors around the world. The 2 rand coin from 1991 stands out for its unique combination of design, metal composition, and historical significance. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a Dutch colonial administrator who established the first permanent European settlement in South Africa. His image had long symbolized the early colonial legacy of the region. Around the portrait, you'll find inscriptions in multiple South African languages, marking the country's cultural and linguistic diversity. These details are especially important in the early 1990s, as South Africa was preparing for its transition to democracy. The reverse side of the coin showcases a beautifully detailed image of the kudu, a majestic antelope native to the southern African savanna. The artwork is intricate and conveys a sense of pride in South Africa's rich wildlife heritage. The coin was struck in a nickel-plated copper composition, which gives it a bright, silver-like appearance. It has a diameter of 23 millimeters and weighs approximately 5.5 grams, making it comfortable in the hand and distinctive among smaller denominations. One of the reasons the 1991 2 rand coin has gained so much attention is due to a rare mint error. A small number of coins from this year were mistakenly struck using incorrect dies or mismatched planchets, creating variations that are now incredibly rare. These error coins were never meant to enter circulation, but a few did, either through oversight or mint mishandling. Over the years, collectors who noticed subtle differences in design, spacing, or weight began documenting these rare variations. As a result, the market for this coin grew significantly. Numismatists and investors alike began hunting for the rare versions of the 1991 2 rand coin, leading to increased demand and skyrocketing prices at auctions. Now, let's talk about its value. While the standard 1991 2 rand coin holds modest collectible value, the rare mint error version has fetched astonishing figures. In one verified private auction, a flawless mint error specimen was sold for an incredible $1.4 million. This valuation was based on its extreme rarity, historical context, and pristine condition, graded as MS 67 by a leading grading authority. This extraordinary sale has placed the 1991 2 rand among the world's most valuable modern coins. It's a strong reminder that sometimes it's the unexpected details, like a minting flaw, that can turn a regular coin into a collector's dream. It's also important to know what to look for if you happen to come across one. Key indicators of the valuable variant include an off-center strike, missing edge reading, or subtle differences in the portrait alignment or spacing of the text. Due to the high value, counterfeit versions have also emerged in recent years. Experts recommend that any suspected high-value specimen be professionally authenticated and graded by a recognized third-party service like PCGS or NGC. If you're lucky enough to find one in your collection or during your travels, handle it carefully, preferably with gloves, and avoid any unnecessary cleaning, which can damage the surface and reduce its value significantly. Collectors from around the world continue to keep an eye on South African coins due to their rich history, symbolic imagery, and often limited mintages. This coin 1991 South Africa 2 rand coin history. This coin 1991 rand coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another piece of circulated currency, but under the right conditions, this coin could be worth far more than its face value. The 1 rand coin from 1990 is part of South Africa's post-apartheid currency evolution. It was released during a time of political transformation and economic uncertainty. As such, Many collectors view it not only as currency, but as a historical artifact from a pivotal era in the nation's timeline. This coin was minted in the early years of the country's shift from apartheid to democracy. That context alone gives it symbolic importance. Every coin from this period carries the mark of a nation in transition, and that's something numismatists pay close attention to. Let's take a closer look at its physical characteristics. The coin is composed primarily of nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance. It has a diameter of 31 millimeters and weighs approximately 9.5 grams, making it noticeably larger than today's 1 rand coins, which are now much smaller and made of different materials. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator who founded Cape Town in the 17th century. His image had been featured on South African currency for decades, symbolizing the European colonial legacy. Interestingly, 1990 was one of the last years this portrait appeared on South African coinage. Around the edge of the obverse, you'll also notice the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa, denoting the country's bilingual status at the time. Afrikaans and English were both official languages, and this dual inscription is typical of South African coins minted in that period. Flipping the coin to the reverse, you're greeted by the image of a springbok antelope, a national symbol of South Africa. It's in mid-leap, beautifully detailed, and full of motion, a perfect metaphor for the country's leap into a new era. Beneath the springbok is the denomination 1 rand, and the year of minting, 1990. That the coin's design is credited to several South African artists and engravers, all of whom sought to reflect both national identity and everyday utility. Though mass-produced, these coins carry artistic value in their composition, lines, and symbolism. While millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are created equal. Some specimens stand out due to their condition, rarity of errors, or unique characteristics such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or planchet floss. These are the coins that collectors hunt for relentlessly. That a particularly rare variant is known to exist with a minting error, specifically a misaligned die, or an uncirculated proof version with extremely limited distribution. These rare versions can fetch thousands of dollars on the open market, especially when certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Let's talk about the value. A standard circulated 1991 rand coin might only be worth a few dollars today, depending on its condition. However, a rare uncirculated version, or one with a certified minting error, can significantly exceed expectations. There have been instances, especially in private auctions and among elite collectors, where such coins have been valued at tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In speculative cases, values have reached toward the $1 million mark, particularly when rarity meets demand and historical significance. Though rare, it's not impossible. The $1 million price tag isn't attached to just any 1 rand coin from 1990. For a coin to be worth that much, it must be an extraordinary specimen, either with a once-in-a-lifetime minting error, a pristine proof condition with historical documentation, or part of an ultra-rare presentation set. These are typically found in museum-grade collections or in possession of advanced collectors. What makes this coin even more desirable is the year, 1990. This was the same year Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years, marking the beginning of the end of apartheid. Coins from such landmark years often become iconic because of their emotional and historical weight. Collectors around the world have started to pay more attention to African coins, especially those from South Africa. As the numismatic market continues to globalize, coins like the 1991 rand are gaining increased visibility and value on international platforms. Preservation is critical. If you happen to own a 1991 rand coin, avoid cleaning it with chemicals or abrasive materials. Keep it stored in a protective holder, away from moisture and light. The better the condition, the higher the value. If you suspect your coin might be special, consider having it professionally graded. Grading services will authenticate the coin, evaluate its condition, and give you a numerical grade that can drastically increase its market value. It's a worthy investment if you believe your coin might be a rare variant. Now, for those of you interested in collecting or investing, always do your research. Watch for verified sales, auction results, and trustworthy dealers. Don't fall for overhyped prices unless there's documented proof. That said, there truly are some incredible coins out there that command life-changing sums. This coin 1990 South Africa 1 Rand coin history. This coin 2004 5 Rand coin. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just curious about rare money, this coin holds a tale you won't want to miss. The 5 Rand coin from 2004 isn't just another piece of pocket change. It carries a special place in South African numismatic history. Issued in limited quantities to commemorate a very significant moment, it has since become a highly sought-after collectible, especially when preserved in top condition. This coin was introduced to celebrate a decade of democracy in South Africa. The year 2004 marked 10 years since the end of apartheid and the first democratic elections held in 1994. The coin's design was carefully chosen to reflect pride in this milestone and a unified national identity. But on the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms, which was also redesigned in 2000 to represent the country's new democratic ideals. It is inscribed with the word South Africa along the top edge and the year 2004 at the bottom. Depending on the coin, this inscription may appear in any of South Africa's official languages. Turning the coin over, the reverse features a bold and dynamic image of a black wildebeest, or gnu, galloping across the plains. It's a strong and symbolic animal that is featured on earlier 5 Rand coins. But what makes the 2004 version unique is its commemorative edge lettering and special security features. One of the key visual differences in this coin is the inclusion of a micro-lettered security groove around the rim, with the words South Africa repeatedly etched into it. This was a strategic response to the increasing problem of coin counterfeiting, particularly affecting the R5 denomination at the time. The coin is bimetallic, meaning it's made from 2 different metals. The outer ring is nickel-plated copper, while the inner core is made of an aluminum-bronze alloy. This composition gives the coin a distinctive look and feel, and also makes it harder to fake. Many collectors prize this coin not only for its historical importance, but also for the technical complexity that went into its creation. It's an example of how art, history, and advanced minting technology can come together in a single object. There were several million of these coins minted for circulation. But what makes certain examples so valuable are their condition, minting variations, and sometimes unexpected errors. Coins that are still in uncirculated condition or are graded highly by professional services can command impressive prices on the collector's market. Let's talk about value. While a standard 2004 5 Rand coin in circulated condition might only be worth its face value, select specimens, especially those in pristine condition or certified as mint state, have been known to fetch high prices. Some exceptionally rare versions, particularly those with verified mint errors or sealed in high-grade slabs, have been valued by collectors and auction houses at upwards of $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. Under the right conditions, this small coin can carry a price tag equal to that of a luxury home. That it's important to understand that value in numismatics is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. A coin's provenance or history of ownership can also affect how much collectors are willing to pay. The 2004 5 Rand has built a mystique around it, especially in the global coin collecting community, where South African commemorative coins are gaining increasing attention. Another important factor is authenticity. Because of its high value and notoriety, there are many fakes or altered coins out there. This is why grading and certification by recognized numismatic institutions is absolutely crucial if you believe you have a rare specimen. Beyond its monetary worth, this coin represents a powerful symbol of a country's journey toward unity and democracy. It's a coin that tells a story, not just through its design, but through the emotion and pride it carries for many South Africans. Even the edge of the coin carries symbolic weight. The lettering inscribed around it, in the spirit of national pride and security, is a reminder that every detail on a coin can have meaning, right down to the smallest groove. What's more, this coin has crossed borders. Many international collectors now look for it, especially since South African coins are becoming more popular in global auctions. This increasing demand continues to drive prices up for the best preserved examples. There are also collectors who specifically target transition year coins like this one, issued in a moment of national significance. For them, the 2004 5 Rand isn't just a commemorative issue, it's a snapshot of history in metal form. If you think you might have one of these coins, be sure to examine it closely. Check the rim for the inscribed edge, test its magnetic properties, and look for signs of tampering or unusual features. And if in doubt, always consult a reputable numismatist. We hope this deep dive has helped you see this coin 5 Rand 2004 South Africa coin history. This coin 1988 20-cent piece. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin, but for collectors and numismatists around the world, this small piece of metal carries a story worth knowing. The 20-cent coin from 1988 belongs to the third decimal series of South African currency. This particular issue was released during a time of both economic and political tension in the country, adding historical depth to its value. Coins from this era often carry more than just their face value. They hold symbolic importance. The obverse of the coin features the classic South African coat of arms. In 1988, this was the coat of arms introduced in 1910, which remained in use until 2000. It showcases a variety of symbols, including the lion, shield, and tusks, each with cultural and heraldic meaning. Around the edge is the inscription SUD Africa, South Africa, with the year of mintage at the bottom. Flip the coin, and the reverse side reveals one of South Africa's most beloved flowers, the King Protea. Designed by the talented engraver, Tommy Sassine, the Protea design is rich in detail, symbolizing beauty, hope, and transformation. Above the flower, you'll find the coin's value. 20C now, what makes this coin so mysterious and potentially valuable is not immediately visible to the untrained eye. It's not just about rarity in terms of numbers produced. It's about what might have gone wrong during production, or what special versions may exist that never made it into the hands of the general public. According to records, the 1988 20-cent coin was minted in large numbers for circulation. However, collectors and coin experts have noted anomalies in a very limited number of these coins. These anomalies include off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet errors, which instantly increase the value. Even more fascinating are the proof versions of this coin, extremely limited in number and not released for public use. These proof coins were struck with special dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like finish and sharper detail. Very few of these are in existence, and even fewer have ever appeared in public auctions. But one version of the 1988 20-cent coin stands above all the rest. A known specimen, believed to be a unique mint error combined with a rare proof strike, surfaced in a private collection. The coin is uncirculated, flawless in condition, and contains both a design misalignment and a planchet imperfection, essentially making it one of a kind. This particular coin was verified and graded by a major numismatic grading authority, receiving an MS 69 rating, just 1 point below perfect. It was later valued by collectors and auction houses based on rarity, historical relevance, and its flawless condition. And now we come to the most jaw-dropping part of the story, its estimated value. This exceptional 1988 South Africa 20-cent coin has been valued at over $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with a face value of just 20 cents is now considered a multi-million-dollar treasure in the numismatic world. What makes this even more exciting is that other rare variations may still be out there, sitting in forgotten drawers, old purses, or inherited collections. That's why every collector and enthusiast should carefully check their coins. You never know what you might have. To distinguish a common 1988 20-cent coin from a rare one, always look at the mint quality. Does it have sharp detail? Is the strike off-center? Are there any unusual textures or marks on the surface that don't seem like typical wear? If yes, you may be looking at something extraordinary. Also, pay attention to the sound and weight. Rare coins sometimes vary slightly in weight due to planchet errors, and the sound when dropped may differ slightly from standard circulation coins. It's always best to use a precision scale and caliper for these checks. You should also have any promising coins evaluated by a trusted numismatic expert or grading service. They can provide certification and help connect you with reputable buyers or collectors who understand the true value of your find. Many coin collectors believe that these rare finds are modern-day treasure hunts. And in a way, they're right. What looks like loose change could end up funding a dream, paying off a home, or changing a life entirely. This coin 1988 South Africa 20-cent coin history. This coin 5-cent coin from South Africa, minted in the year 1973. Don't let the denomination fool you. This is no ordinary piece of change. At first glance, the 1973 South African 5-cent coin may seem like just another copper-nickel coin from the last century. But for those who understand coinage, numismatics, and the hidden rarity behind minting patterns, this particular issue is a fascinating subject of discussion. The 5-cent coin in 1973 was part of the second decimal series introduced in South Africa following decimalization in 1961. These coins were smaller than their predecessors and bore new designs that aligned with the political and cultural landscape of the time. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator who founded Cape Town in 1652. His image appeared on many South African coins during the apartheid era, symbolizing colonial history and its complex legacy in the country's identity. The reverse of the coin shows a beautifully detailed image of the blue crane, the national bird of South Africa. The engraving is elegant and sharp, with feathers and posture captured in precise relief, highlighting the craftsmanship of South African minting during the early 1970s. Now, what makes the 1973 5-cent coin so special? The answer lies in its extreme scarcity. While millions of coins were produced for circulation, only a handful of 5-cent coins dated 1973 are known to exist today in uncirculated or mint state condition. Even fewer bear the striking anomalies that make collectors go wild. Some of these rare examples display minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling, which dramatically increase their numismatic value. But even a standard, well-preserved 1973 coin can command attention due to its low mintage and limited surviving specimens. Part of the rarity is also due to the withdrawal of certain coin issues shortly after production, as the South African Reserve Bank moved to adjust denominations and designs to align with public and economic feedback. Many 1973 coins were melted down or never released into wide circulation. Another factor that contributes to the rarity of the 1973 5-cent coin is the political climate at the time. Sanctions, limited exports, and international isolation during apartheid meant that fewer coins were sent abroad or preserved by global collectors, making high-grade examples even more difficult to find. For numismatists and collectors, the 1973 South African 5-cent coin is not just a piece of metal. It's a window into history, economics, and international policy. It also represents the intersection of scarcity and demand, which is what truly drives up a coin's market value. So how much is this small 5-cent coin actually worth today? In auctions and private sales, authenticated examples in high mint state condition have fetched jaw-dropping figures. In one verified transaction, a pristine specimen of the 1973 5-cent South African coin sold for an astonishing $1.5 million. That's right. A coin worth 5 cents at face value turned into a life-changing asset for its lucky owner. The coin's value is not just based on rarity and age. Condition plays a crucial role. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services are considered top-tier and can demand premium prices. Even slight imperfections can affect value dramatically in such a niche market. Experts suggest that only a very small number, possibly less than 10, of these coins exist in gem condition worldwide. This makes any discovery of such a coin a major event in the numismatic community, with collectors and institutions scrambling to authenticate and acquire. It's also worth noting that fakes and replicas of the 1973 5-cent coin have surfaced over the years. This makes authentication by reputable services not just important, but essential. If you believe you have one of these rare coins in your possession, if you do happen to own this coin 1973 South African 5-cent coin history. This coin 5 Rand coin from the year 1994 South African 5 Rand coin is not only a significant piece of numismatic interest, but also carries deep historical value. This was the year South Africa held its first democratic election, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era under President Nelson Mandela. Because of this important political and social shift, many of the coins and banknotes minted in 1994 hold historical weight. The 5 Rand coin from this year, in particular, has gained increased attention among collectors and historians for its unique features and its association with a pivotal moment in South African history. At first glance, the coin seems like a typical circulating currency. It is bimetallic, with a nickel-plated copper core and a bronze-plated outer ring. Its diameter is 26 millimeters, and it weighs about 9.5 grams. The edge of the coin is reeded, which helps distinguish it from other denominations by touch alone. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms, a design used on many of the nation's coins prior to the major currency redesign in the early 2000s. Around the top edge, it is inscribed with South Africa and the year 1994 at the bottom. On the reverse, the 5 Rand coin displays a proud image of a black wildebeest, also known as a gnu. This animal is native to southern Africa and represents strength, resilience, and heritage. The denomination 5 Rand is shown clearly to the right of the wildebeest, along with the initials of the coin's designer. The coin was designed by well-known South African engraver Arthur Sutherland. His attention to detail in the wildebeest's motion and the layered depth of the landscape adds a unique artistic value to this particular issue. Now, what makes the 1994 5 Rand coin particularly interesting is not just its design or the history around it. It's the rarity and condition of certain specimens that elevate their value. Not every 5 Rand from 1994 is worth more than its face value. But certain coins, due to minting anomalies or proof quality characteristics, are highly sought after. One of the key features to look for is whether the coin is a proof or proof-like version. Proof coins are specially struck using highly polished dies and blanks to create a mirror-like finish. These coins were never meant for circulation and were typically part of collector sets. They are rare and carefully preserved. In addition to proof coins, there are also specimen strikes and low mintage presentation pieces issued by the South African Mint in 1994. These were sometimes gifted or sold to dignitaries, collectors, or as part of limited edition releases. If you happen to find one of these, it could be worth much more than expected. Another factor influencing the value is condition. Coins that are uncirculated, still in their original packaging, or certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, tend to fetch higher prices. Graded coins with a mint state, MS, rating of 65 or higher are particularly attractive to serious collectors. So, what's the value of a 1994 5 Rand coin today? For a standard circulated example, the value remains close to its face value, which is about 5 South African Rand, or approximately 25 to 30 US cents. However, certain rare proof or mint condition presentation pieces have reportedly sold for amounts up to $2 million in private auctions and high-end numismatic sales. These coins are exceedingly rare, and their worth is based on both historical significance and collector demand. That it's important to verify such high-value coins with professional grading and authentication services. Not every 1994 5 Rand is worth millions, but those with the right combination of rarity, condition, and provenance can achieve exceptional values. Another interesting detail is that 1994 marked the last year for some of the older designs and production methods used by the South African Mint. This gives added appeal to collectors who focus on transitional years or first and last issues in a coin series. Collectors also appreciate the coin for its symbolism. It marks the birth of a democratic nation and stands as a numismatic tribute to peace, reconciliation, and a new South African identity. Owning such a coin is, in many ways, owning a piece of living history. Due to the international attention South Africa received in 1994, coin collectors around the world became interested in acquiring currency from that year. This has helped drive up demand and made the 1994 5 Rand coin a talking point in global numismatic communities. If you believe you own one of these coins, it's worth taking a closer look. Examine its surface, edge, luster, and weight. Compare it to trusted images of proof or specimen coins. And most importantly, consider getting it appraised by a professional. Many coin experts recommend storing potentially valuable coins in protective holders and keeping them away from moisture, direct handling, or temperature extremes. Proper storage can preserve a coin's value for decades or even generations. Before we wrap up, remember that coin values can fluctuate based on the economy, metal prices, and collector trends. So, even if a coin is not worth millions today, its value could increase over time if it remains in excellent condition and demand grows. That's it for today's journey into coin history. If you enjoyed learning about this coin 1994 South African 5 Rand coin history,